Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm finally continuing on with my palette collection series, going through my second drawer, the second half of my second drawer, which is the I through Q's, I think. Yeah, these are not in exact alphabetical order, but they are in categories. So these are the I through Q's. So then tomorrow I will start my R through Z's. So I will leave the playlist in the description box if you want to watch the earlier ones, my A through H videos and the first part of the I through Q. And yeah, so again, this is not a declutter video. If I pick out ones that I'm not sure of, I will do a use it or lose it with it to see if I want to keep it or not. Otherwise, yeah, I am just showing you my collection and yeah, going through it to see if I want to do any use it or lose it as well. Kind of going through it for my benefit as well. So I didn't want to break up my Natasha Denona minis, so I just, okay, there goes everything falling. If you're new to my channel, everything falls down on my desk when I do the video. Okay, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Natasha Denona minis. So I just put them all into M under mini or N under Natasha Denona. I didn't put the bigger palettes under N for Natasha Denona, just the minis, because I wanted to keep the minis together. I also have this larger palette. I don't know what these are called, but they are a little larger than the minis. And this is called the Peak palette. I got this from a BoxyCharm. It's under P for Peak. And yeah, it's a nice little fall palette. Pull it out and then. I don't think these size palettes are as good as her minis or her midi size palettes. I just don't think, I'm not going to swatch. I'm telling myself, don't swatch. I don't think the quality is as good as the minis or the midi palettes, but I still like to keep them around because they're Natasha Denona and it's one of my favorite brands, so I'm definitely keeping it. Let's get into the mini palettes, and I am just going to go through them like this. First of all, I have the Xenon palette, which is a nice black, silver, gray, and this little cream color here, like that. Then I have the mini gold palette. Not my favorite one. I don't like this shimmer right here. It goes weird. It goes on my eye weird. But it does have 3 mattes, and I really like that. Then I have the mini Crush palette, and I really enjoy this one. It's a nice pink and rosy one. Then I have the mini bronze palette, probably one of my favorite ones. And yeah, this one only has 1 shimmer in it. So and it's one I like, so I really like this one. Then the mini nude palette, another favorite of mine. Even though it does have 3 shimmers in it, I do like the 2 mattes in it, and they work really well. And then I have the, what is this one? Mini Metropolis. I think I've only used this once. So, it was a holiday palette. I'm going to have to try this out again. I'm not putting it up for use it or lose it because I like to collect Natasha Denona, but I'm definitely going to have to try it out again. Another one of my very favorite ones is the mini Biba palette. It's nice and rosy, and it only has 1 shimmer in it. Very nice palette. This one I haven't tried out a lot. It's the mini Star palette. I'm gonna have to try this one again. And that shimmer right there is very intriguing to me. Has 3 shimmers in it, And another one that I really, really like is the Mini Sunset palette. So those are all of my Natasha Denona minis. Okay, switching gears here, I've got the Jeffree Star Orgy palette. This is one of the few, I only have a few Jeffree Star palettes, but this one is his nudes palette. And yeah, it's a lot of warm toned. You got cream colors and you got your browns here. Very pretty palette, very nice palette to use. I don't usually take this traveling or anything like that, but when I want a nice nude look, I will pull this out. I've used it many, many times in the past. Okay, let's pull out a few. Okay, I have this one. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Instant Look of Love in a palette. Pretty Blushed Beauty. This is, it's kind of an all-in-one face set. I keep it with my palettes because these 3 shades are for eyes. This one is, what is that? Is that a highlighter? I think that's a highlighter there. There's a blush shade. There's a bronzer that I could probably pull off these days, and that is a powder, which I'm pretty sure is too dark for me, but I got it because I wanted these eyeshadow shades. They're really, really pretty. That's a really pretty blush, but I don't pull it out a lot. I don't want to put it in and use it or lose it because I really like that it's Natasha Denona, so, but I would really like to pull it out. I might pull it out for a stash rotation, so shop my stash rotation, so I might do that. Next I have Ace Beauty Oceanic palette. Really like bringing this out for collabs and doing Instagram looks, things like that. If I want to do a blue and a green look, this one's really pretty for that. This is their old formula, I think, but I don't have a problem with it or anything like that. So it's a really nice palette. I can't say palette. Next, I have the Patrick Star Major Dimensions. This is the first one, and it looks like that is a very pretty palette. Very dark. These creams, I think, are drying out though. Very pretty, but the colors are very, very dark, and that's the only critique I have for that. But I just need to go in really light. And these shimmers, oh, these shimmers are so pretty. I need to pull this one out too. Okay, something I got from Hip Dot is the Ouija board collaboration they did with, who is it? Hasbro. A very fun palette, kind of an interesting color story, but very nice formula. A lot of people make fun of Hip Dot, but I think I like this formula. I liked it a lot. Again, it's got a lot of shimmers in it, let's just say that, and very few mattes, so it's hard to make a look with, but I'm always up for a challenge, so I like that. Okay, a palette I really, really love is this Liesel Is Dead. It is in collaboration with Teresa Is Dead, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, beauty YouTubers, and I love Lois Cosmetics as well. Love these colors, love making looks with this palette. Even if you just want a blue look or that kind of look, or this kind of look right here, just playing monochromatically with it, or just play around with the colors. I think she did a great job on this. Okay, another palette that I absolutely love is this Petals On Point by Colourpop. This, you know, when you want to make a neutral look, but you want to have a little bit of color in it, you know, this is a good palette for that, an everyday look. I'm sorry if the camera is shaking. It's because I have my hands on the table, my arms on my elbows on the table. Anyway, this is a very pretty look for adding some color and just making an everyday good. Okay, one thing I am going to probably declutter, although I would like to try using it again, is this Magic Castle water activated duochromes. I don't like water activated pigments, and these don't really show up that well. If you have this palette and you can make it work, let me know how you do it, because I really like to use this, but I just can't find a good way on how to use it. So I'm gonna put that in and use it or lose it, I think. Another one of my favorite palettes for everyday looks is this LA Girl Playmate palette. It is from their Keep It Playful line, and it is this palette here. And let's see, it's got it only has 4 mattes, and the rest are shimmers, but you can make a lot of great looks with these shimmers. There are a lot of different textures to these shimmers, so it's really fun to play with this one. An Okolon. It's just called the 16 color shadow palette, like that. When I first got this, I was like, oh, that looks so boring. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that palette, but it really is a good palette. If you have this one and you haven't pulled it out yet, I would say definitely pull it out and play with it and just try something with it, anything, because it really is a good palette. These colors look really, what's the word for it? Uninspiring in the pan, but once you get them out and swatch them or put them on your eyes, they are very beautiful colors. They look muddy in the pans. Let's just say that. They do. They look very muddy and yucky in the pans, but they are very, very pretty on the eyes. So don't underestimate that palette. Okay, we're gonna go over 3 of my absolutely favorite palettes. I took all these on vacation with me. And the first one is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. You can make, this palette, if you don't look at these colors right here, it's a very neutral looking palette. You can make lots of everyday looks with it. It's just these colors right here throw you off. Don't look at those colors. And I've made lots of pretty looks just with these colors. And I very rarely play with these colors here unless I'm making a very out there look for like a collaboration or like an Instagram look or an evening look or something like that. But if I'm just making an everyday look, using these colors is really easy. So I really love this palette a lot. The next palette is the Lunar Beauty Nude Prism palette. I don't think I have to say much about this other than it is very beautiful, very workable, the colors blend very well. It is so beautiful. These shimmers, they look like they're going to be really metallic on your eyes, but they come out very beautifully, not too metallic. And yeah, beautiful, beautiful palette. And probably my most favorite palette that I have in my collection is my Pat McGrath Mothership 9 Utopian Dream palette. I use this a lot when I want to make really stunning looks. Okay, I had it upside down. And this is what she looks like. The special shades are real nice. They're glittery. I'll always say, don't pay full price for Pat McGrath. They're always having sales. I got this for 30% off, I believe. Yeah, maybe even 40% off. And yeah, that's probably about what it's worth. And it is a really nice palette. The shades are magnificent on your eyes. Like I said, they call these special shades, but they're not so special that I would pay $125 for them. Oh my gosh. They're just fancy glitter shades. And they're not that special. I mean, come on. But they are pretty. They're very pretty. Okay. That is a Pat McGrath. Okay, a newer palette that I just picked up from the drugstore is this Joa Simplified, as in Eyes Simplified. Just quad here for, it's called the Taupe for the Best quad. And it is just really nice for making an easy on-the-go look when you want something on your eyes, but you don't want, it's for a makeup, no makeup look, basically. The next palette I also took on vacation is the Naked Half Baked palette. Another good palette for just putting something on your eyes. I always want something on my eyes. So I got this last summer when I was going on a trip to Austin, and I just wanted a palette for something for a simple, easy look, and it still works great today. Took it on my Vegas vacation. It was really nice. Okay, something from Juvias Place. We have the Mini Nubian. I only got this for like $5 or $10, something in that range when they were having a sale. Another nice neutral palette. They have a great formula. It looks like I've used this quite a bit, but I don't feel like I have. So really, it's just a nice palette to have around, honestly. Another great, colorful, why am I having trouble talking? Great, colorful Colourpop palette. I don't think they have this anymore, though. Is the Lush Life palette. And I love using these colors right here. These blues and greens, they're okay. But using these colors on the upper and side perimeter make a really nice look. I'm trying today, okay? And yeah, love this. Okay, this palette is from Lois Cosmetics. It's called Meet Me at Midnight. And it's the only thing I have from Lois Cosmetics. And oops, it is a very interesting color story. They are based in the UK. It took a while for me to get this palette. I understand that. But after playing with it for a while, at first I thought I really liked it. I'm going to have to do a use it or lose it with this one. Because when I first used it, I thought everything was great. Then after using it subsequent times, I noticed the colors just weren't blending well together. So I'm going to have to put this in a use it or lose it, I think. Because I haven't been real excited to try it, using it again. So we'll have to see. Okay, one of my Natasha Denona MIDI palettes. This is my Dream palette. And this is a very nice palette. Not my favorite Natasha Denona palette, but a very nice one. I like the color story of this, and it has a very nice multi-chrome right here that I use pretty much every time I use this palette. And it has, yeah, I thought it was going to have more purple shades in it, but not really. It has more neutral colors in it, really. And it does have a blackest black. That's the name of it there. And just some, like I said, just some really neutral colors there. This edgy, I am going to swatch this. You think it's going to be dark, but it's not at all. It looks so dark in the pan, but it is a cream to powder shade, and you can build it up, but it's not ever going to get that dark. Not as dark as it looks in the pan, but that is a plummy kind of color. Anyway, Just thought I'd mention that for no particular reason. If you are looking for some purples, this is the palette to get. This is the Orchid You Not palette by Colourpop. This has some very dark plummy colors in it, almost too dark. When I used it, I think I've used it once. It is so very dark. I would only use this for evening looks, I think. So we've got that palette. Another palette I really love is the MILF palette by Sugar Drizzle. It stands for Man I Love Frogs. It has all the multi-chromes in it that I absolutely love. And yeah, I absolutely love this color right here. This croaky one. I love this one right here, the MILF one. Oh, I love this ribbit one right here. I love using palettes like that Joa palette, and then putting one of these colors all over the lid. I just love doing that. Okay, another Nomad palette that I have. This was my first one I ever got. This is Iceland Fire and Ice. I would love to go to Iceland someday. But it has the ice and it has the fire colors. It's so pretty, but it's really hard to come up with a look with this one. I will admit that. Probably one of my least used Nomad palettes, but I am never going to get rid of it because I love collecting Nomad palettes. Another BH Cosmetics, palette is the Passion in Paris palette. Another great one for darker colors, although it does have some lighter colors to use, so that's always nice. Has a great... Now, I keep thinking this is a duochrome, but it's not. It's not actually a duochrome, but it's great for an inner corner highlight. So is this one here. This one makes absolutely fabulous looks. Okay, then I have another mini. No, this isn't a mini palette, but it's by Juvias Place. It's just called the Mauves. It's not mini because the palettes aren't tiny. But this is a great palette for making a mauve look. My favorite mauve palette still is the Colourpop Making Mauves. I think they showed that in the last video. Okay, so I like this because it doesn't have too many shimmers. This is a satin right here though, and then you have a shimmer. And then another issue I have is these are basically the same color here as well. This one's just a little lighter than this one, but they look the same on the lid. But I still like having this palette around. Something I got, I think in an ice cream beauty bag, I think. Or maybe it was another indie box I used to get that I don't get anymore. I don't know, but I love this palette. It is from Copycat. It is the Mediterranean palette. And yeah, you look at it and you go, oh no, no, not with the colors. Okay, but hang tight, you can make a neutral look with this palette. You've got these colors here, you've got this color, you've even got this color, and you've got this dark color here. So you can make a nice neutral look with this palette, but you can play with colors as well with it. So yeah, I do like playing with that palette. Okay, this is making me not like melt. I like the Mariposas, Amore Mariposas. I think I've already shown that one. I love that palette, but I got this Mary Jane palette from Milk Cosmetics, and it is just so messy. The shimmers are so messy, and it's hard to keep them on the eyes. Look at this. I didn't hit pan on this. No, it just flaked all off. And this one's threatening to do the same. I'm waiting for it to fall off completely while I'm holding it like this. Don't get me wrong. The mattes are great. They are absolutely fabulous mattes. If I wanted to make an all matte look, I would absolutely pull out this palette. I love this all these colors. But we only got 4 mattes, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shimmers. These shimmers are okay. This one, this one, this one, and I guess even that one, they're okay. But these two on the ends, no, 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 no. Like I said, this is not a pan that I hit organically. In fact, it's all over the mirror here. No, it grew legs and walked out itself. Okay? It said, goodbye, I will see you later. I will see you never, basically. Okay, 2 Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. One is the Norvina palette. Very pretty springy palette. Really love making looks with this palette. I got it half off at Ulta last year, I think. I really love making looks with this palette. Another palette, as with the story with most of my palettes, I wish I had more time in the day where I could make more looks, like make a morning look and then make an evening look. That's what I did on vacation. I had like a morning, daytime look, and then I would come back and then make an evening look. I wish I could do that every day, and that I had more eyeballs. That's what I wish. Okay, then I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the, what's it called? The Primrose palette. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful palette. Love the pinks and purples and the neutrals in this one. I have not tried any of her newer palettes besides this one, but if her other newer palettes, like the Heavy Metal or the Nouveau or the newest one, the Cosmos palette, or anything like this one, I would love to try them. But this one, and it even has 2 blushes on it as well that are absolutely fabulous. This is definitely up there, high up there on my palettes that I absolutely love. So yeah. Okay, so those are all the palettes. That ends this second drawer palette collection from the I through Q drawer. Tomorrow I will start on the R through Z drawer. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and let me know if you own any of these palettes, what you think of them, anything. Let me know how your day is going. Just let me know. Okay, also please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Share this video with your friends. Share the playlist with your friends. Anything. I'm trying to get my watch hours up as well as get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. So thank you so much for watching to this point as well. If you are new, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell, setting it to all so that you're notified every time that I upload a new video. So I hope y'all are all having a wonderful, fantastic day out there today. If you are having an especially hard time, know that I'm thinking about you. I'm sending you out all of those good vibes. Just remember to stay strong, stay healthy, and stay safe out there. And I will see you in another video tomorrow going over my palette collection. And okay, just stay well until then. Goodbye.